What is up, YouTube? How's everybody out there doing today? We don't need to look in here. There's nothing in here. It's literally nothing in here. 2017 ZL1 that we're going to be assembling the engine for. So this motor is completely freaking torn down, the entire thing. This is an LT4 fully forged engine from the factory. I don't know what was going on here, but these pistons look pretty dark. That's not me. Not me, I promise you. And we're going to be assembling everything. So we're going to put the cam in, we're going to get the pan on, we're going to put the front cover on, we're going to do all the little cool stuff that we need to do to this thing. And here are all the parts, right here. So we have our lifters, our lifter trays, phaser kit. We have some O-ring, we have some gaskets here. We have a nice little seal. We have a brand new cam bolt. We have a brand new crank bolt, which I don't think we're going to be using because we actually have a aftermarket crank pulley for this vehicle. We have some sealant, all this other. Wait a minute. There's something missing. I have this awesome table here, and there's something missing. What is missing off of this freaking table? What is going? Oh, there. Oh my God. What are you doing? What are you doing on this floor, you unbelievable Cam, you? Cam? Get off this floor. My subscribers will hate you and me, Cam. Please, just getting on the table, man. Or in that engine. Not on the floor. The floor is dirty. You cannot be on the floor, Cam. Please get up, Cam. My subscribers are going to roast the shit out of me for having a cam and a clean bag on a dirty floor. They are going to roast the shit out of me. So you need to get off this floor, Cam. You need to be up on that table. You need to get on that table. You have to. Please do it for me. Please save my YouTube. They hate me right now and I need your help. Whew. Guys, oh my God, that was a close one, man. I definitely don't want to be known as like a backyard mechanic having cams on the floor and parts everywhere. Just, that was freaking close, guys. That was scary, but it all got straightened out. So please understand that this cam is okay. There's nothing wrong with it for it being on the floor. I don't know how it got there. I don't know what to say. I do apologize. I'm very, very sorry that this cam was on the floor, but it's okay. I'm going to tell you why this cam is okay for being on the floor, even though I did not put the cam there. It was not my doing that the cam was on the floor, but it was in this thing. It's called a plastic bag. This plastic bag keeps the cam from actually physically touching concrete. I know it's crazy. They invented this like a long time ago, this plastic bag stuff. So it actually does keep things safe. So we're good. I've definitely double checked the cam. It is safe. It is good. Whew, that was a close one, man. So I guess let's start assembling this motor. Get this cam in this engine. I'll show you how that's done. It's not that hard. It's actually pretty damn simple. Try to have clean hands when you do this. I know that's hard, but it's kind of the way things are. Put the cam up, put the cam bag up here. We're going to actually use the old cam bolt in the cam to help put this thing in. I'm going to sit up here on the table like so. Hopefully it doesn't go anywhere. Stay. That's a good cam. We have our good old Ultra Slick 50 here. I love this stuff. I've used this on so many cam swaps. It's not even funny how many cam swaps I've used this on. Basically, oh God, this thing's heavy. It's like 11 pounds of heaviness. I'm just going to put it, you really don't need to put it on the lobes at all. Just put it on the journals. Yeah. Basically, this is going to help with first startup on this cam setup. That way you don't score up the cam bearings or anything of that nature. Don't be afraid to get your hands dirty, like so. Us real mechanics out there, the guys that know what's going on, we ain't afraid to get our hands dirty, get a little messy. Listen guys, it all wipes off. It's okay. And it's pretty simple. I'll do it from this angle, that way you guys can get the... Sorry, I'm just kidding. I wasn't going to do that like that. You know how crazy that would be? Oh my God. It'd be nuts. So what you want to do is you want to go in real slow. You don't want to really get violent with it. Because, I'll get this in here, right there. Okay. These, some of these cam lobes have some sharp edges on it, like in here. You don't want to score up the cam bearings at all. So we're just going to slowly put it in here, like so. Look at this, guys. Wow, DFR can actually do work. This is nuts, isn't it? No, you guys are like, if this video doesn't get like 1.5 million views, it's got to be 1.5 million. And that would be unbelievable. I don't know why it wouldn't get 1.5 million views, honestly. Definitely have to go slow with it. There we go. The next thing we're going to do is we have this beautiful plate here. This is your cam cover plate, basically. You see? Like so. Just like that. Clean her up a little bit. You don't really need to replace these. Since this is such a newer engine, you have a nice good thick seal here and you should be okay. Unless for some reason that seal breaks, there's no need to mess with it at all. You know what I mean? This plate here, maybe I'll back it up here. There we go. This plate here goes on the front, just like so. There we go. Now, I will say one thing. You have these little bolts here. The big thing about this, and believe me when I tell you, if you look at this plate, you have an oval hole and you have 3 round holes. You always start with the smallest hole up top here. That's your alignment. That's your alignment hole, basically, is what that is. Now that we have our plate on, basically what we're going to do is I am going to add a little bit of Loctite to each of these bolts. There's still Loctite on it from the factory, but we're just going to put just a little dab. We don't need a whole lot. Yes, I use red Loctite for everything, so don't freak out. Oh my God, Andy, that's supposed to be blue Loctite. What are you doing? Listen, guys, it'll be okay. Trust me. This little dab is not going to do that much crazy stuff to one little bolt. You don't need a whole lot of this stuff. You really don't. Just a little dab. That's all you need. So we got 11 foot-pounds here, right there. Doesn't seem like a lot, but that's what they call for, so that's what we're going to do. So we'll snug them down. We're not going to make them extremely tight. We're not going to torque it down just yet. We're just going to get it kind of snugged up because I want to make sure this plate's centered. Alright, so we'll start up top here because that's our centering hole. There we go. There we go. It's vibrating. There we go. And there we go. Let's double check them. Can't believe these are 11 foot-pounds. That's ridiculous. Basically, what I'll show you guys here right now is if, for whatever reason, this plate, these bolts come loose. These bolts come loose and this plate moves in and out like this. What can happen is when your lifters, you see if you guys can see down there, I don't know if you can, but your lifters will drop past the lobe, and right now it's a little in further than what it should be. There we go. So your lifters will drop down past that lobe and it'll destroy the cam. It'll destroy these lifter holes and it'll destroy the entire motor pretty much. And that's never a good thing, guys. You don't want to do that. Alright, so here's the fun part, which I'm not going to show you guys this because it's more, this is actually takes some concentration and some time to do. It's kind of a pain in the ass. But in order to run an aftermarket cam in an LT4 engine, you have phaser eliminator in from Comp Cams. Yeah, Comp Cams, right there. So we have this weird looking tool, which I'm going to tell you right now is not the right tool for an LT4. It's basically to hold these springs down. It doesn't work. Trust me, I tried it. We have our little torque bit there. We do need that. That we don't need. And we have our phaser eliminator right here. We have that as well. So, and of course we have our trusty, good old instructions right there. We know what we do with instructions here at DFR. That's what we do. Sorry, I need these. I'm messing with you guys. Actually, I really don't because I've done it so many damn times, I know how to do it. So I really don't need them. I'm going to explain to you why this tool kind of really doesn't work for the LT4s. They work for the LT1s, which is great, but they don't work for the LT4s. And the reason being is because the LT4s have dual springs instead of one single spring. The LT1s have, well, I would say it's a thicker one spring. This is meant for one spring, not for two. So it's kind of a pain in the butt to do this with that tool. So I've figured out a different way of doing it, which is, it works out really nice. So that's all done. And yes, before anybody questions it, I did torque these down to 85 inch-pounds. So calm down, people. Calm down. It's not that exciting. Oh my God. So what we're going to do is we have our alignment dot down here. You probably can't see it. And we have our arrow right here. This is our cam timing. So what we'll do is we'll take our chain, put our chain on, and we need to basically line this round hole up with this dowel pin on the cam. Now you might need to mess around with the cam a little bit possibly to get it to line up, but if you take your time, it will. Trust me, it will line up. First try. Alright, next step. We have to torque this thing down. It has to be torqued down or it's not going to work right. And the first thing you do is you grab your torque wrench. Now, this is kind of an awkward thing. It has to be torqued down to 48 foot-pounds first, and then 90 degrees. Now, if you don't have a degree torque wrench, you're not doing degrees. Alright, next step. We have to torque this thing down. It has to be torqued down or it's not going to work right. And the first thing you do is you grab your torque wrench. Now, this is kind of an awkward thing. It has to be torqued down to 48 foot-pounds first, and then 90 degrees. 48, guys. Put a 24 wrench on here, and oh, before we get started, show you a little contraption that I made. Obviously, you guys are probably like, well, Andy, the motor's gonna turn over. No, it's not, because I did this. Put a little bolt here with a piece of metal drilled into it. Also down here, if you guys can see, there's a bolt in the crank. So if this thing tries to turn, it's really not gonna go anywhere. So I can torque this thing down and I'll be good to go. Let's get started, but first let's pull our little pin thingy out here. This actually holds the tensioner out of the way. That way the chain can come off and stuff. I actually got this, I forget even how I got this tool, but it works perfect, so I don't lose it. So let's torque it down to 48. There's 48. 49.3, I'm so sorry. So now we'll do a 90 degree torque on it. So I can just press this once it stops blinking. There we go. There we go. Go to degrees. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. That took a while, huh? That was ridiculous. All right, 90 degrees. Now, I'm going to tell you guys from prior experience on this. 90 degrees is a lot, and it feels like this thing's just going to snap off inside the cam, but it's not going to. Trust me. We're at 37 degrees right now. Mm. 70 degrees right now. I'll tell you what, they don't mess around when they want these things tight. Hopefully the stand stays still here. Whew. Okay, we went to 92, but that's okay. Holy smokes. That's a lot. We're just take our old crank bolt, stick it in, tighten it down hand tight. We're going to rotate this sucker over, make sure everything's free and clear and good to go. And we're also going to verify that the timing is correct by making sure that our dots line up. So, let's see here. Can we line it up right now? Can't do that, so. Alright. We'll turn it over. Watch the pistons go up and down. Now, technically speaking, with number one, which whenever you install a cam, it's just better to put number one at top dead center. On Chevys, number one is on the driver's side front. On Duramaxes, just so you guys know, number one is on passenger side, as well as Fords as well. And if I remember correctly, I think Dodges are on the driver's side as well. I've done a few Dodges. So we'll do one more rotation here until this number one piston comes up. And we'll make sure our timing marks are right where they need to be, which I'm not even going to look at them. I'm going to not even look at them. I'm just going to get this cylinder up at the top dead center here. We should be really close. And we are. A little bit. There we go. Yep. So, as you guys can see, right here, we have our arrow and our dot, and they are literally lined up perfectly with each other. And we have our cylinder at top dead center right here. It's not below the deck, it's not above the deck, but it's right there. And that's basically how you install a cam in one of these LT4s. And I also like to note that we use these plugs for the AFM delete. They've been working pretty well in the cars that we've been using them in. These are from Faster Proms, Jeremy from ATOTO down in Tampa, Florida. Very awesome guy. Go check him out. I'll have some of his information down below if you need anything. He sells the thermal reduction plates. He sells these. He sells the pulleys for the superchargers. He sells a whole bunch of stuff. Plus he does a lot of tuning as well. I hope you enjoyed the video. A little work from good old DFR here. I know it's been a while. The only thing that's left on this is we're gonna go ahead and re-silicone all this, clean this up a little bit more, re-silicone the front pan because these don't use gaskets. I know some of you guys probably think this uses a gasket, an oil pan uses a gasket, but it does not. They actually use silicone. I actually personally like Ultra Gray, and I think that's what they probably use from factory anyways. The pan on, not gonna show you guys that. It's pretty straightforward, boring stuff. I think you guys would be more interested in the cam installing the head and stuff like that. So we're getting this thing all together, and then we're going to dump it in that car as quickly as physically possible. So if you guys enjoyed the video, give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Instagram is Diablo from the Racing. Facebook is also Diablo from the Racing. Deuces, guys.